This last part of the app, I think, is the most complicated thing we've done in class so far. So in this video, I'm going to explain it from the outside in, and then in the next video, I'll construct it from the inside out. So what we want is to take a string of letters like this and convert it to a database with an image for each one of the letters and then the actual letter that we're displaying. And the overall algorithm is we'll reset the interface. So we'll empty out the database from any old transcription, clear the screen, and then for each letter in this string, we're going to look at it and see if it's a letter or if it's a space. Now, if it's a letter, we'll get the image for that ASL letter sign, and we'll add the letter and the image to our database. If it's a space, there is no sign for space in the ASL alphabet. They just use a pause. So we're going to use this empty box as our space. So that's why we have to check if it's a letter or if it's a space. Now here's how this looks in blocks. When our screen opens, we clear out the data viewer grid. So if you remember, before we transcribed, we emptied out the database. So this empties out the data viewer grid. We'll set the label to show the string that we're trying to transcribe. And now this outer block here is a loop. And we're going to move from 1 to the end of the string. So if you remember up here, this is position 1 in that string. This is position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5. And we're just going to go down this string one letter at a time. And the way that this works in Thunkable is we're getting a one-letter substring. So if this entire thing is a string, the letter I is a substring that's one letter long, and the space is a substring that's one letter long. So this substring goes from 1 to 1. This substring goes from position 2 to 2. This substring goes from position 3 to 3. And here's where we check if it's not a space, so we know it's a letter, then we go here. If it is a space, then we'll insert the space.png image, and the letter value is space. So up here, what we're doing is taking the one letter and adding .png to it. So in our app, we have files for each of the individual letters as ASL signs. So this join, we're creating a.png or b.png, and then we're putting that in our table and adding in the text.